Happy Easter, happy Passover. Hey, it's Trixie. Welcome to the underground. I was just watching the History Channel. You know how they have these Jesus, his life, and all this stuff. I kind of like get into it. But I try to like not, I don't like the crucifixion part. I can't watch it. It's horrifying. And every year I got to go through it on Good Friday. So I have to go to my sister's for Easter. My family, my younger sister came down from New York and okay, so it begins. So the stress begins. So my niece, I gotta say, she's like getting older, and then every time I see her, she's like almost grown up, and it's frightening, to talk in that grown up teenager voice. I'm used to like, the baby voice, and she's taller than I am, which makes me feel even older. So my younger sister is obsessed with, she doesn't eat out. I don't know what she eats, but when I go out with her, she brings a living room table with her with all her handmade food. And wears these Janis Joplin, like red glasses at night because she's blocking out blue light because it upsets her circadian rhythm. I'm okay with my circadian rhythm. I know I look at a screen and it's not good. I know that. I already know. My older sister, who's lost a ton of weight, is obsessed with weight now and like trying to get me to go on some kind of crazy diet. They're all coming at me all at once. Listen, I lost 5 pounds. I realized I got 100 more, but like, give me a break. I can't lose it all in 2 weeks. Okay. I'm giving myself a hand. I lost 5 pounds. Listen, I stopped the coffee, stopped the chocolate. I'm trying to stop fried foods. It hurts. What am I got to eat? I don't have anything left. My vitamin D levels are at rickets level, okay? Where my bones could break off at any moment. And my cholesterol, I'm about to go on drugs. So, I'm trying to do it in like 2 months' time when I go get checked. She's going to throw me on these drugs. I don't like it. So what are you going to do? I'm trying to stay happy. All right, here we go. This is tomorrow's Patriots Day, by the way. We love this in Massachusetts. Massachusetts just turned 250 years old. We commemorated our roles in the Revolutionary War. Freedom starts here. Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, the battles of Lexington and Concord. We'll talk about what Harvard's doing. Okay, so according to the New York Times, Harvard is refusing to bow to pressure from President Trump, which will freeze $2 billion and $60 million in contracts for the college. It's the country's richest university. Do we need this? I mean, I like that they're standing up for what's right. So they don't want to overhaul the hiring. They're refusing the DEI stuff. They're refusing to turn over people that protest and report. I'm sorry, my friend's texting me. I turn it on airplane mode and do not disturb. How did they get through? This is the one that I had a dream that she was mourning and then her father died. So I don't know. We have some spiritual thing going on. We both love Stevie Nicks. I'm trying to get her out of her funk because I know what it's like to lose a dad. And she just recently lost him and it's kind of tough. So I just told her, get close to your mother. That's what I did. You got one left. What are you going to do? So it's getting pretty scary. They're pulling people off the streets, even in this state. They broke a guy's window and it was the wrong person. They still took him. I mean, they don't care if they make mistakes. That guy in prison, I know he beat his wife, but like get him in front of the judge and then you can deport him. That's the way I want to do things. Trump doesn't care. He doesn't care about the law, doesn't care about the Constitution. See, I care about this stuff. I get it. There's bad people. I get it. They're probably going to pull me away any minute. If you hear a knock at the door, I'm gone. Okay, we're massholes. We don't cave. And this is what they said. No government, regardless of which party is in power, so Dems too, they can go crazy, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue, said Alan Garber, the Harvard president, where Mark Zuckerberg went. The freeze was issued by members of a federal anti-Semitism task force that is behind targeting these universities. Republicans didn't like big government. Now they love it. Be careful what you wish for, GOP, though. Be careful, This is funny. Police tased 2 people and 3 were arrested during Marjorie Taylor Greene's Klan mom. I'm sorry, she keeps texting me. Georgia Town Hall, she's like, she doesn't want to listen to people. That's like, there's no such thing as like freedom of speech here. Well, she's not the government. She's not the government. That's when government stops it. But, protesting, they have a right to do it. These are Republicans. These are your people. She knows she's comfortable. She'll never lose in her district. It's heavily, heavily conservative. And, Klan mom. That's what Jimmy Kimmel calls her. Maybe Biden should have had that witch tased during the State of the Union. Remember when she stood up screaming with Lauren Boebert? Just crazy. She's just so vile. Why do we have the vile people in Congress? Get rid of them. Get rid of them. We would never have someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh no. We would never have someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene in Massachusetts. We'd run her out of here. I remember talking to this woman who said Trump was ordained by God. I said, yeah, he's ordained, all right, but the other God down below. And she's like, I go, why are you living in this state? Because we're a blue state. Like, if I was heavily Republican, I might leave. My sister hates it. And so does my boss, my manager. Think he's embarrassed. And, I'm proud to be a masshole. And she goes, well, I'm just going to convince people to go my way. I go, so this is what I consider unhealthy. It's kind of like when people Bible thump at you. Like, if you want to believe what you want to believe, that's okay. I always say, believe what you want. It's when you try to push something. And you know what? It reminds me of a Coke head pushing, here, have a line, because they know they're going down the wrong path and they don't want to go down it alone. So I was like, I started laughing and I had to walk away. I'm at work. I can't really talk about, get into political discussions because, I don't represent me. I represent a company. And actually, they're fond of Trump. So everybody's got a right to believe what they want to believe, and they're good people, but there's fine people on both sides. According to Travel and Tour World, France, Denmark, Germany, and Ireland and Canada are urging travelers to the United States to use burner phones due to social media surveillance and border detentions. Or they're checking out your emails, they're checking out your Facebook. Oh, I'm in trouble. I was talking to a woman yesterday at work when I was in Connecticut, and she said her friend changed from Democrat to independent. People are rightfully scared of this president. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop with illegals. He's going to legals, then he's going to go to liberals. That's the way it goes. Remember abortion? Oh, we're just doing late term. And then it's totally wiped out. I mean, that's the way they roll. And I'm sorry, but Hillary Clinton was right. Right-wing agenda. That's what they got. They're going to try to make us like them. Oh, it's so unhealthy. U.S. will add 3.8 million manufacturing jobs by 2033. Who's going to want them? Gen Z? I don't think so. They want to come out of college making $60K. Alpha? I don't think so. Yeah, right. Factory work, concrete floors, no windows, like being in prison. Supervisors hovering everywhere. Thank God. I'm old and I'm picking what I want to do. I'm picking. I do not want that in my life. I like the freedom of my job. Do I get screamed at every day? Somebody called me a scammer. That I had one of the worst weeks. Some guy goes, "You're a scam. You're a scam." And he goes, "Did I call you?" That's what he's saying. And I said, "Sir, where are you? Are you in your home? I'm not calling you in your home." I said, "I work here." And then his wife goes, "Shut up," to her husband. And then I had another guy, and I said, "What's wrong with him?" to his wife. And his wife goes, "You're bothering people." But most people are nice to me. It's like I'm talking to hundreds. So kind of, how your brain just keeps the bad ones? It's like you remember the bad people always, I would never talk to someone like that. You know how to get rid of me? I'm all set. Or, people have the hand up. So I start, I say, okay, it's the hand. At least you're not giving me the finger. Traits of people who return shopping carts. I'm one of them. Let's see what I do. This is according to Daily Motivation News. 1, they care about the greater good. Yeah, I'm a do-gooder. Sure, I'm terrible. Okay, number 2, value personal accountability. Yeah, I say I'm a piece of crap sometimes. I always say this to women. Yes, oh my God, my last one. I said, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. Okay, people who don't, these people that don't return carts, they're causing dents in the cars. And I've seen it. That's why I park way far out. It's no big deal. Just return the cart a couple of feet, you lazy bum. Number 3, appreciate small actions. They cause ripple effects. I almost prevented it. I prevented an accident between a Lexus and some other car. I don't remember the make, but they were going to smash into each other, and I was like, "Wait, stop!" And I went to the lady in the Lexus. We got to protect the Lexus, and she started laughing. You know, they listen to me. I have a very strong voice. I'm very powerful. You know. Okay. Challenge limiting beliefs about what's worth it. That's yeah, it's true because small actions, you know, they do something. What's the big deal? What's the big deal if you don't return a card? It's not like you're a criminal. Five, they embody consistency and follow through. They're principled every single day. Good, I knew I had principles. Yeah, you have to walk, but you're preventing dents on that. Number six, empathy. I'm an empath. That's according to my former boss. You know, this is why, because when I used to work at the mall and I used to work near Target and I'd see those guys in 30-degree weather going and pushing those carts and I just felt bad. You know, what's the big deal about returning them? Seven, present in daily tasks, mindfulness, present in the here and now. Geez, all these? Okay, one more. Character, number eight, characters revealed in small moments. I believe that. Characters built when no one's watching. You know, my priest, I don't go to church much. The priest said, Jesus said, don't tell the right hand with the left hand, or maybe it's reversed. Don't tell anybody what you're doing because Jesus can see it. That's true. No, there's another one. Fulfilled in everyday kindness. Life's everyday moments are filled with opportunities to be thoughtful. The mindset carries over into how you treat friends, family, blah, blah, blah. Do it. It only takes 30 seconds. Last week I said being alone doesn't mean being lonely. Virginia Thomas, an assistant professor of psychology at Middlebury College in Vermont, wrote in the conversation, called it positive solitude. I mean, sometimes I want to be with somebody. I'm not going to lie, you know. Associated with well-being, not loneliness. Being alone has three benefits. It's cheaper. Women are very expensive. Number one, personal growth, strong sense of self. Oh, yeah. My college professor told me that. This person knows who she is. Number two, connect with your emotions and creative self. This is me, for sure. Number three, recharge to reduce anxiety and stress. I gotta go quick. I got so much going on. The Jerusalem Post said a new study claims the biblical Garden of Eden is in Egypt beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. The study by Konstantin Borisov, a computer engineer. The study was published in the journal Archaeological Discovery. Borisov wrote, examining a map from around 500 BCE, it becomes evident that the only four rivers emerging from the surrounding ocean are the Nile, the Tigris, the Euphrates, and the Indus. I kind of like this stuff. I got to tell you, you know, there's going to be no proof. I'm just going to say there's going to be nothing like with a label on it. Like this is the Garden of Eden. It's about faith, you know. He read ancient texts, biblical quotes, medieval maps, and notes from historians. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Josephus, the Roman guy who turned Jewish. I liked it. I like Josephus. He wrote in the Antiquities of the Jews, the garden was watered by a single river, which ran around the whole land and was divided into four parts. And then said the Euphrates also, as well as the Tigris, descends to the Red Sea. Whoosh! Okay, there's more to it, but this isn't a religious show, so I'll stop here. You guys can look this up yourselves. I read something about how you save your boyfriend or girlfriend. How you save your boyfriend or girlfriend's name in your phone says a lot about your relationship. One woman, listen to this one. Ugh, it's him again. That's kind of funny. Okay. A doctor born in the U.S. says she received an email from federal immigration authorities demanding she leave the country immediately. Get out. You're legal. Get out. Oh, she's a doctor from Connecticut. You know, we're not safe. I'm not safe. I kept saying to everybody at work, I'm glad I'm light-skinned. They're going to pull off dark people. That's next. She told NBC Connecticut, the letter said, it is time for you to leave the United States. She was born in Pennsylvania. Okay. She said the language was threatening. So, of course, they're going to report back. The authorities retorted, if a non-personal email an American citizen contacts, so if it's someone that's they call them aliens. Give this person as a contact. It's going to get mixed up. They don't care about like sending these threats. They're not careful with the chainsaw approach, the Elon approach. Oh, it's unintended. We're sorry, but we're still gonna kick you out. What are your beliefs? Let me see your Facebook page on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills before I go. Okay. So Garcelle stormed off. I can't stand them all, she says. They really hate me. Dorit wants to date. I thought she was dating somebody. I don't know what's going on. Jennifer Tilly. I've only slept with character actors and strange squishy comedians. Kyle said she gets men and women sliding into her DMs. Can I tell you there's a guy that wants to have sex with me? This is the guy I'm attracted to, but he was asking me if I have a rug. He's like, well, he didn't put it like that. He goes, carpet or no carpet? So now when I see him, it's a little awkward, so I kind of don't really talk too much. I feel like saying, you got a girlfriend. Obviously he's not having sex with her. Go find a straight girl. Why do they come after me? I'm a little old. I'm fat. He told me that I have to wear clothes that are looser. I said, honey, when I lose a little weight, you'll see a little bit, but I'm not going to walk around with my belly button hanging out. Anyway, Erica's not divorced from Tom Girardi yet. He has been found guilty from wire fraud in connection with an embezzlement. She said she will visit him when he's dead. She said there's no use. He's not coherent. Jennifer Tilly ate a corn dog during the break. I love this woman. I think I would definitely gel with her. She loves to eat. We have that in common. Plus she was in Bound. Okay. Anyway, Kyle she dropped the crystal again, the purple crystal on the floor for the 4th time. They were all freaking out like you committed a crime. Okay. I still have this, by the way. I didn't bury it yet. Kathy said she wanted to see Kyle and Mauricio reconcile. Maybe she just doesn't want her to be gay. I don't know. So no lesbians over for dinner. Women are snakes. Women are snakes. He's a good man, wealthy. Of course, she thinks this. Good father and husband. Women want him. I mean, look, if it's time, it's time. And she's clearly moved on to Morgan. I mean, Morgan's kind of cute. Too many tattoos, and she's got a very nice singing voice. I understand why Kyle, I need to breathe. Kyle was going to buy a house across the street from Lisa Vanderpump. Is that funny or what? She said she's not angry, sad, jealous that Mo is hooking up with other women. She thinks he has someone else. That's fine. Kathy was laughing when Kyle was talking about questioning her sexuality. Why does she think that's funny? Kathy said it's a big pill to swallow. Yes, Kathy, it is. Kathy's still dying of laughter. I guess Garcelle unfollowed everybody but Jennifer Tilly and Kathy on Instagram. I thought she was friends with Sutton. She said she had the conversation with her daughters about Kyle might being gay. She didn't want to embarrass them. I'm sorry. Kyle had the conversation about being gay. And her daughters were very cool. Well, we love you. She said that their support made her feel free. Now, it's funny that you think you got to be embarrassed. Now, what taught me not to be embarrassed about being gay? The 10 Commandments. Moses wasn't embarrassed about being Hebrew, even though it was considered slave. Little did they know. Anyway, also Bewitched taught me to not be embarrassed about being gay. Accept people and their differences. I love it. I was smart even when I was a little kid. Be happy. That's the key. Don't hurt people. Who cares? Who cares who you sleep with? I don't even sleep with anybody. What's the deal? Get out of my life. Tilly said they shot so much footage that they didn't use most of it. Dorit said Bose is her friend for life. Garcelle would not shoot the cast photo. She left. She said she's sick of it. They're all effing assholes. The women all said it was child's play, that because they really get vicious. Just if there was dinner, that's when it would have happened. Dinner and drinks cause it. Nothing had happened to her, not going to a birthday party. Sutton was mad, saying, we're supposed to have supper. Okay, can I do one more thing? An article in Forbes, a common mindset that can quietly lead to divorce. 1, you stop sharing small things. When you first see each other, how was your day? The conversation flows. You start to get weird and stop talking about things that bother you. So you keep it you try to keep the peace. I did this recently because when I told somebody that you didn't call me back after I called you, she's like, "Well, I do that to everybody." So it taught me not to complain because she was just going to dismiss it. So research published in communication research notes, when you are uncertain about a relationship, you avoid certain things. They don't talk about important things because they're afraid it will cause a conflict. This is, yeah, I don't need a psychologist to tell me this. Because previously, when you brought it up, you were dismissed. Yes, I really can relate to this right now. Creating a one-way mirror effect. You see them, but you stop letting yourself be seen. Loneliness starts to set in. Yes, being in a relationship, lonely. Two, you assume your partner should just know what you need. Okay, she was like that. Like she's staring at me like she's pissed. I'm supposed to know what I said wrong. I say a lot of things wrong. I'm sorry. Tell me what I said. Your partner has to be a mind reader, please. Anyone who dates women, men, you got to pay attention to this. You got to learn to read the mind. They think when you're struggling and what they need. Forget it. Without them telling you, use words. Words are very effective. I'm good at this. Then resentment comes. A 2015 study published in Communication Research reports mind reading expectations, MRE. So even though I don't use words, you should know. Okay. People who expect their partner to just know what they need tend to be less happy in their relationships. Yeah, that makes kind of sense. When we don't read their minds, the person that expects mind reading becomes upset. The MRE, I'm just abbreviating, triggers negative behaviors, creating withdrawal, arguing, shouting, shutting down. And then you pull away thinking, well, they should just know how I'm feeling. So most people can't read the minds. I'm terrible at it because I'm like a guy. So they test you, you fail, they distance themselves. So I guess I would encourage people to just talk. That's it. You start feeling lonely, unseen. Loneliness is about emotional perception, not physical presence. You're thinking they don't care as much, and then you grow apart. Maybe being alone is great. Then they leave, not due to someone else, but to find themselves. Okay, I'm overwhelmed. I miss how we used to talk. This is what you're supposed to say. I miss how we used to. That's kind of cool, though. I miss how we used to talk. Okay, one more thing before I go. Linda McMahon, the head of Department of Education, said we are going to have A1 in our schools. A1 sauce instead of AI. I don't, yeah. What do you want me to say to that? Okay, guys. Okay? Have a great time with your family. I'm not doing the Easter egg hunt this year because my brother-in-law threw me to the damn floor and I almost broke something on the ground. Okay, not for an egg, not for anything, but I'm going to love the food. Love you. See you next week. Bye.